Death is not the worst that can happen to men. Love is a serious mental disease. Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. The soul of man is immortal and imperishable. You're my star, a stargazer too, and I wish that I were heaven with a billion eyes to look at you. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Ignorance, the root and the stem of every evil. Philosophy is the highest music. Those who are able to see beyond the shadows and lies of their culture will never be understood, let alone believed by the masses. No one is more hated than he who speaks the truth. To conquer oneself is the best and noblest victory. To be vanquished by one's own nature is the worst and most ignoble defeat. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. When there is an income tax, the just man will pay more, and the unjust less on the same amount of income. Happiness springs from doing good and helping others. I have hardly ever known a mathematician who was capable of reasoning. You can discover more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. Everything that deceives may be said to enchant. The object of education is to teach us to love what is beautiful. The first and best victory is to conquer self. A grateful mind is a great mind, which eventually attracts to itself great things. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. I'm trying to think. Don't confuse me with facts. Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. There are three classes of men: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honor, and lovers of gain. True friendship can exist only between equals. The measure of a man is what he does with power. The most virtuous are those who content themselves with being virtuous without seeking to appear so. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. And we have made of ourselves living cesspools and driven doctors to invent names for our diseases. character is simply habit long continued. The soul takes flight to the world that is invisible, but there arriving she is sure of bliss, and forever dwells in paradise. False words are not only evil in themselves, but they infect the soul with evil. No wealth can ever make a bad man at peace with himself. When men speak ill of thee, live so that nobody will believe them. Poets utter great and wise things which they do not themselves understand. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. Education is teaching our children to desire the right things. As the builders say, the larger stones do not lie well without the lesser. If women are expected to do the same work as men, we must teach them the same things. The madness of love is the greatest of heaven's blessings. The penalty that good men pay for not being interested in politics is to be governed by men worse than themselves. There should exist among the citizens neither extreme poverty nor again excessive wealth, for both are productive of great evil. Of all the animals, the boy is the most unmanageable. The worst form of injustice is pretended justice. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Only the dead have seen the end of war. You should not honor men more than truth. I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. The highest reach of injustice is to be deemed just when you are not. No man should bring children into the world who is unwilling to persevere to the end in their nature and education. All the gold which is under or upon the earth is not enough to give in exchange for virtue. Nothing in the affairs of men is worthy of great anxiety. The wise man will want to be ever with him, who is better than himself. Lack of activity destroys the good condition of every human being. Books are immortal sons defying their sires. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Any man may easily do harm, but not every man can do good to another. The beginning is the most important part of the work. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. How could they see anything but the shadows if they were never allowed to move their heads? An empty vessel makes the loudest sound, so they that have the least wit are the greatest babblers. Necessity is the mother of invention.